Hey there, Internet. My name's Luxander, and today we're going to be talking about how you can manage your anxiety during this very difficult time. Everyone is having a really rough time right now, and it's super important to take care of yourself, to manage your emotions so that you can continue to be useful in the moment. If you're getting overloaded or burnt out, that's not going to be useful or helpful in continuing to work towards social change. So I have been in dialectical behavioral therapy for a few months now. It is a very skill-oriented type of therapy. It's very much like you're having a problem with some emotional regulation issue, for example, and here are a bunch of things you can do to change that, like to make it better. One of the things that I've had to accept is that I can't really stop myself from being anxious, but I can notice it and take some kind of action to help alleviate, reduce, or eliminate it sometimes. A really simple starting point is self-soothe. If you can find things that are pleasant physically to one of your senses, maybe you have a candle that you really like the smell of, or you have a plushie that's very soft and feels nice, or you have a tasty food that you want to treat yourself to. Finding small ways to bring positivity into your life is just like a way of making your surroundings more pleasant to you to be in. You can also do this with something like a hot shower, just like anything that you personally find soothing physically to your senses. Breathing on its own, I recently learned, can be super useful, super helpful. I've tried this one myself, and it's fascinating. Basically, when you're breathing in, I can't remember exactly all the terms for it. I think it's just sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. When you're breathing in, it basically is readying your body to do something. You're prepared to engage in fight or flight. When you are breathing out, it flips the opposite way, and it's like your nervous system is on track for calming down. So one of the sort of breathing exercises you can do, and I will do one for an example, and then I would like you to do like 3 of these breaths with me just so that you know what it's like. So to do the breathing exercise, you want to shorten the amount of time that you're spending breathing in and amping your body up if you're trying to reduce anxiety. So what you would do is you take a deep breath in quickly, hold it for 2 seconds, and then slowly let it out to like extend that period of time when your nervous system is on the chill end of it. So you would just do like, and you can do it however slowly you want to or however quickly you want to. Maybe we'll just do 2 together. I just want you to do 2 of those with me. So I'll indicate that we're breathing in, we'll hold for 2 seconds, and then we'll just start to breathe out, okay? So okay, and we'll do one more. And like for me, it's kind of hot in this room right now, but that's already like my head is clearer, you know? So sorry if that was awkward. I just wanted to do that with you for a second. Hopefully that is something that will help you in other exercises, like just breathing on its own. You can do that with calming music. You could do that while you're lying down in bed just to get a few minutes of rest. If you're meditating, that's a style of breathing that you could use with your meditation if that's something that you're interested in doing. Something I've been finding very useful lately, because I have a lot of physical anxiety symptoms that are not necessarily connected to any thoughts, so I'm just like physically amped up and don't know what to do with that because I can't convince myself out of it if there's nothing to be convinced of, you know? So I've been doing progressive muscle relaxation, sort of, it's like a guided meditation. There are many YouTube videos you can look for that are different lengths depending on how long you want to spend on it. My personal experience is that 10 minutes, like anything less than 10 minutes is not going to be super beneficial for like a longer period of time. Like if you have 10 or 15 minutes to sit down or lie down to do a progressive muscle relaxation, it's very helpful because what it is doing is it's kind of like a mindfulness meditation in that you are like mentally focused on your physical body. What they have you do is they have you usually start like from the head, and they'll have you like scrunch up your nose like you just smelled something really nasty, like really scrunch it up, really like do it, hold it, and then like release your whole face, like let go of all the muscles, and then do it again, like scrunch up your whole face and hold it there, and then let it go. And it guides you through doing this, in your neck, in your back, in your legs, like you go through the whole body, and it's just sort of a way of convincing your body to calm down. Essentially, you're like introducing a lot of tension and then letting it go. And I usually do it while I'm lying down and with my eyes closed because that is optimal. I'm trying to reduce my level of anxiety, and I want to focus on this activity that I'm doing in the hopes that it will make things better. My therapist also recently introduced me to this one, which I haven't had an opportunity to use yet because I don't have a lot of difficulty falling asleep. But if you do have difficulty falling asleep, you could do basically counting down from 10 and then count down from 9 and then count down from 8. It's got a little bit more of your brain involved with it than just counting up, because there's a definitive end point for you to reach instead of like I can just count and continue thinking about something else. Like it just does not help me to sleep. So starting at 10 and working your way down, you have to remember while you're doing it which number you're going to kick back up to when you start back over at 9. So that is a recommendation I have not tried myself. So your mileage may vary. Your mileage may vary with all of these things. I'm just sharing what I have learned and what I have found is at least somewhat helpful for me. I'd also like to talk to you a little bit about distress tolerance skills, which are a bit more for emotions that are a lot bigger and harder to deal with in the moment. Like if you're having serious, like an anxiety attack, if you are like incredibly depressed, or if you're incredibly angry, if it's a situation where you feel the impulse to self-harm because that is a way of regulating your emotions, these are some alternatives that you could use to, bring those emotional states down into a manageable level without engaging in harmful behavior, without engaging in risky behavior. Tip chemistry is what this is called in DBT. There's a couple of different approaches you can take to it. One of the easier ones would be some kind of high-intensity exercise, and by that I mean you could do jumping jacks, like 20-25 jumping jacks, just something short and intense that will, it's about basically physically disrupting your emotional state, more or less. Like you're trying to either introduce stimulus or change your whole body system's priority away from putting that energy into whatever emotion you're dealing with. So high intensity exercise can work. In the past, I have found that you can use like an ice pack or even an ice cube on part of your body to just introduce a sensation of cold that it can be somewhat painful, and that can release endorphins in your brain in a similar way that self-harming might, but again, it is less actively harmful for you. But this one that I'm about to tell you about is kind of one of my favorite tip chemistry things. I don't like using tip chemistry as like all the time because it just feels like a lot. Like I'm already dealing with a lot, and then I'm gonna put like a huge physical input in, and it like works, but it's also exhausting, and I would rather use like less intense ways of bringing my emotions down. However, this one is very efficacious. We call this one cold water. So I have a bag with water in it, right? This is just cold tap water. There might be a tiny little hole in this bag finally because I've used it several times. Yeah, it's definitely wet. So anyway, the goal of this one is to activate your body's dive response. So this is the way that I have figured out how to do this that doesn't Like, first I tried to just put my face in a bowl of water, but I couldn't breathe, and I hated it. It was not good. So for this, all you do is you get, like, cool tap water. You don't want it to be really cold. You just want it to be cool. And you take this, like, bag and you just drape it over your eyes and over the top of your nose. So I can still totally breathe. And I'm holding the top of the bag because sometimes Ziplocs just don't hold in liquid. But basically, it's just to trick your body into thinking that you've gone underwater, and like it diverts all of your resources into staying alive. So like for me emotionally, yeah, I did get water on my face. For me emotionally, what this does is, like, if your computer ever froze up and you like press the power button and it didn't do anything, so you press and hold down the power button until the computer shuts itself off. That is what this is like for your emotions. I just like put this on and leave it there until whatever is happening less or not at all. So this one is highly efficacious. Like, it works a lot better than you think it will. This is by no means an exhaustive list, but these are some tips that you can have for potentially being able to manage your anxiety and your emotions generally a little bit better during this incredibly difficult time. I'm making this video because you have to find a way to know that Breonna Taylor's murderers still have not been arrested, and 2 of them are still on the force. You have to know that and still be able to function. You have to know these things and still be useful. Like, you have to be able to contain both of those things in your mind at the same time. And you can't do that very well if knowing that Breonna Taylor's murderers are still free causes you difficult emotions that are overwhelming. You have to be able to know that and have your emotions and still be able to make rational decisions anyway. We call this wise mind in DBT. You just like have a balance between justifiable emotions, very real, very, very valid emotions that need to be just at a lower level so that you can listen and hear them and honor them without being overwhelmed and without them guiding all of your decision-making processes. I have not gotten to that point myself yet. I really hope that something of this is useful to you or helpful to you, or, you know, you can also go look up related tactics if you wish. You have to take care of yourself mentally in order to be able to keep fighting for Black lives. Okay? And if you are a Black person, like, seriously, I don't even know if I have very many people of color or Black people who watch my content, but I sincerely hope that you are taking care of yourself. Do everything you need to do to make yourself feel semi-okay right now. I don't expect anybody to feel okay. I just want you to have the tools to try to cope. That's all. So, thank you all so much for watching. That's going to be all from me today. If you like the video, give me pretty analytics to look at and comments to read, Patreon, PayPal, ring the bell for notifications, and I hope you have an okay day. Bye. Hello, I thought that there were more days in the month of June than there were, so this is going to be the last video for June. I would like to thank my patrons, especially Tina M., R. Halverson, Sarah A., Suzanne Maynard, Wellington Marcus, Amanda B., Athiet, Elizabeth Bartell, Frozen Summers, Rose Above It Showing Up, and of course, Mr. Atheist.